Hello, my loves. So, what is happening here? Okay. So, we are on day 28 of the 30-day God Wants to Talk to You challenge. And we read and we contemplate and we read again. Dear God, what would you have me know today? My love, everything you need to live this moment in the best possible way is available to you in this moment. This goes for abundance, for enjoyment, for soul growth, and for peace. But you have to choose it. Everything is your perception of it. And this perception you choose over and over, moment to moment. Trust that everything is available for you to see, feel, learn, know, and act accordingly. I would never, ever put you in a position where you are lacking anything. From my point of view, this isn't even possible. Ask yourself what I have created in that very moment and recognize the paradise before you. Your unique, tailor-made paradise. Perfect for your soul in this moment in time. Choose to see abundance. Choose to see potential. Choose to see my love. Everything else is distraction, and you can drop it easily because it isn't my creation. Drop it and choose to see me the way I see you. Love, God. Lovely, 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 huh? Lovely. So when I just, I always with these letters before I come here and read them to you and then contemplate. I read them sometimes, like from now, like this one I wrote yesterday. Um, and then I take a sentence or two and put a little excerpt on Facebook or whatever, and to announce that I'm now going to speak to that. And the little piece that I took out here was, I would never ever put you in a position where you are lacking anything. From my point of view, this isn't even possible. From God's point of view, this isn't even possible. And so I kind of stopped there for a moment before I hit post, because I was like, well, I would never ever put you in a position where you are lacking anything. That's a bold statement, And what it says before, though, is that everything we truly need in a moment is available to us. So this would imply that, oh my God, if we do feel we're lacking something, then that means we don't actually need that right now to do what we're supposed to do in that moment. So if I say, oh my God, I want to join this program, but it's this amount of money and I just don't have it right now. If that is the actual truth, then by definition of an abundant universe, I don't need that program right now. So it would actually be smart and wise of me to look at everything that is available to me in that moment and take those things as clues as for what I'm supposed to do, where I'm supposed to go, what I'm supposed to join or not. And we do get distracted as humans, especially when we're not very much connected to our, higher guidance. Then our mind comes in, wants to be helpful, and gives us all these ideas about what to do, where to go, where to turn to. And then we find ourselves wanting things, thinking we need things that we just cannot right now for whatever reason. If that's financial reasons, if that's time reasons, if that's just circumstantial reasons of any kind. But if we choose, which that's an important piece of this letter, if we choose to see that we live in an abundant world, that every moment is abundant, then this is our cue to redirect our gaze to the things that are available to us, that are offered to us by life. There's a story that I heard. I think it's who tells this story? Might have been Bashar, it might have been Peter Crone. But the story is, I want to say it's Bashar. The story is that a woman who had no financial like resources in that moment. She was contemplating how she could build a life for herself that she loved. And then what ended up happening was that she wanted to travel the world and practice photography. That was her passion, but she did not have the funds. And so, what ended up happening when she finally got to a point where she followed her divine guidance was that she offered hotels, and this is back in the days because obviously now everyone has like all information at their fingertips at all times. But back in the days, she offered hotels that she would give them her profession as a photographer, in exchange for them flying her out and letting her stay in those beautiful hotels. And so she, with no financial funds available whatsoever, she created a scenario, a reality where she was actually able to visit all those hotels and take beautiful pictures for them, which ended up being in their, advertisements and wherever they would have advertised back in the days. Um, and she actually, in fact, did not need financial resources for that. She needed the right idea and a connection, and then trust, and then just going for it. And then things appeared. And so this is what I read in this letter. And the other important piece here is that it says everything is perfect, this moment is perfect for your abundance, enjoyment, for your soul growth, for peace, but you have to choose it. We have to choose to see it that way. Everything is your perception of it. Nothing really exists unless and until we look at it and we perceive it. And so if it only exists because we look at it, it also only exists through our perception of it. So everything is your perception of it. And so we choose the perception of reality. So, and then the last piece is that was actually a big one for me as well. It says here, choose to see abundance, choose to see potential, choose to see my love. Everything else is a distraction, and you can drop it easily because it isn't my creation. That is basically the flip side of the strongest frequency on earth is the frequency of truth, which Melanie and Lair of Alpha Femme says. And it's true. In the end, what stands is the truth. When everything burns down to the ground, what stands is the truth. So might as well start there. And the flip side of that is everything that is not truth, non truth, not abundance, not truth, none love, illusions of fear, all that the mind creates. Those are not rooted in truth. They're not connected to source. They're not creations of God. So we can actually drop them. That is the flip side. Because one side of duality says truth will always stand. And so the other side says what is not truth falls easily. So we can actually drop it. Because, it's like, well, if you're supposed to learn a lesson, then it'll always come back around and nip you in the butt because we cannot escape it. But the things that are not creations of God, we can actually drop those easily. And this realization did something. And the mind loves to get entangled. The mind loves to hold on and, spin a story around something and then just hold on to it tight. But if we can overcome that and become greater than our mind, and we can actually drop those illusions. It's possible to drop those illusions. Something deep in there for me. All right. I'm reading again to close this off. Dear God, what would you have me know today? My love, everything you need to live this moment in the best possible way is available to you in this moment. This goes for abundance, for enjoyment, for soul growth, and for peace. But you have to choose it. Everything is your perception of it. And this perception you choose over and over, moment to moment. Trust that everything is available for you to see, feel, learn, know, and act accordingly. I would never, ever put you in a position where you are lacking anything. From my point of view, this isn't even possible. Ask yourself what I have created in that very moment and recognize the paradise before you. Your unique, tailor-made paradise, perfect for your soul in this moment in time. Choose to see abundance. Choose to see potential. Choose to see my love. Everything else is distraction, and you can drop it easily because it isn't my creation. Drop it and choose to see me the way I see you. Love, God. I'll see you for the next day soon.